in to another edition of Training Ground Dispatch presented by Kaiser Permanente. I'm Madison Cruz. Joined with me is one of the voices of Atlanta United in Jason Longshore. We're here to get you ready for Atlanta United going back on the road to face rivals Orlando City SC. I know it's a little bit of a controversy, especially talking about rivals, but I would arguably say another rival here for Atlanta United.
Yeah, I don't know where I'd rank them at this point. I feel like this is an evolving process of what the list of rivals is. I always compare it to Georgia football, and you know how this feels. Georgia, it feels like every other week is a rivalry game because you have multiple rivals and they mean different things to different people. I think Atlanta United's in that. Orlando's one of the older ones. It kind of dropped off a little bit in terms of the antagonistic thing. But look, they knocked you out of the playoffs last year. They got to the Eastern Conference Final. You beat them on decision day. They didn't like that so much. They loved beating Atlanta and knocking them out. So I think it does have a little bit of spice to it potentially. And most importantly, look, I don't think it matters who Atlanta United's playing right now. You've got to find a way to make it feel like a rivalry game, and you've got to find a way to get into that extra level of urgency that is needed right now to get results.
Well, we had the opportunity to catch up with Mateusz Klich as well as Jamal Thiaré in media today after training. So before we go and talk a little bit more about what we saw, here they are.
You mentioned having ups and downs in your career, and those moments where it's on the downside, what changes it? Like on a day like today in training, what are the things that can help get you out of that?
I mean, training helps obviously, but the most important thing is having a good win, and one win can change everything. And I've been in teams that we play bad and didn't create many chances, and we here we concede too many goals, we create chances, and we have a good spell. So it's not very. I mean, it's result-wise it's very bad, but playing-wise, I think obviously could be better. But we create enough chances to win games, and we have to be more focused, obviously. And that's everyone. That's like not just me, not just 11 players who start the game. Like everyone, because we need everyone, and that's it.
You've seen Orlando a few times over the years. You know, what stands out about the way that they play at home that can be difficult for you guys?
I mean, Orlando is obviously a good team, and we play them in the preseason, and we know how they play. But MLS is a league that is. The difference between the teams is not that big, and like doesn't really matter who you play against. Like we can beat anyone and you can lose to anyone. It's pretty level league, and you don't really have teams that stands out. Obviously, you have a Messi, that's a different story. But as I said, we have to do better, everyone. And like manager said, like look in the mirror, because there's things on the pitch that no one can influence. It's just us, because what like manager says, like who he does, what decisions he makes, it doesn't matter, because like I am there, and like I misplay passes, and that's on me. So it's only things we can do outside the pitch, but on the field is us, and we just have to do better.
You think the team is connecting to provide the service that you need up front?
We need everybody, but we know this moment is not easy for us, for the team. But we stay positive, we stay together, we work every day hard, and I think day after day, if we continue to stay positive together and try strong, I think we can have something better in the future.
All right, Jason, got the chance to watch the full session today and also had the chance to catch up with both Mateusz Klich and Jamal Thiaré. What did you make of what you saw in training and also what they had to say in media?
Yeah, I don't think anybody's really happy with where the team is right now. I don't think anybody's happy with the results. I agree with Mateusz. You know, it's frustrating because you look at the numbers and they're creating chances, and you look at what they're conceding in terms of chances. Like those numbers look good. The results don't. So that's a very frustrating situation to be in. And it's a big mental test. And it's something that, you want to see out of this group. I think some of what we saw today, you had a lot of competitive types of situations, which is good. I think that absolutely makes sense for what you're trying to tap into with this team right now. One thing that stood out to me about the session was immediately afterwards at the very, very end, as players were working on some different individual things, Mateusz Klich running. Like, again, because that's what he does all the time. Like, he runs, and he's one of the last people off the field because he's putting in that work physically to stay sharp, to be able to do the things that he's doing. He won 10 to 12 duels in the match on the weekend. He led the team in terms of mileage covered, in terms of intensive runs, like all those different kinds of metrics. He was that guy. And I think he's trying to lead by example. I don't think it was an accident that he's over here doing like end-to-end runs at the end of training. That stands out. I hope that was noticed. I hope those sorts of things get talked about within the group, because look, this is a thing where right now you've got to find little things to latch onto. You're playing pretty well in general in terms of the overall way you play. You're not getting results out of it. You're not going to start playing worse to get better results. That doesn't make any sense. Like, you're not trying to do that. You don't want less of the ball to give the opponent more time to create chances. You're not trying to do that. You need to refine what you're doing. I think it's more about the attitude. It's more about the response to things when they fall against you, which they will. It's just the nature of soccer. Yeah. And you've got to be more mentally strong. And I think that's something that maybe isn't going to come out in a training session. I do think the competitive activities are going to help try to bring that out. We heard a lot of talking. That was good. But you've got to find a way to bring that out whistle to whistle against the team in Orlando who has that, and you've got to match it or surpass it.
I think you said it better than I could have said it as well. I think there's no bigger test, I think, against testing your fighting capabilities and everything going up against Orlando City, especially at Orlando, where emotions are going to be running very, very high.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to hear the chants that we can't say on this because we're a family-friendly show. You're going to hear those like immediately when fans walk in the building. It's just the nature of what you get into. I think it's a good thing that you're honestly going to see that kind of environment in this game, because it can bring out that fighting spirit out of you, and you need it. You need it. It has to be something that you see from the jump in this one. A couple of other updates, injuries with Stian Gregerson. It's a quad, probably 3 weeks on him. It's an adductor for Tristan Muyumba, probably 3 weeks for him, both grade 2s. Noah Cobb wasn't out here, but he talked about it after the match on Saturday. Ankle kind of contusion, where he made that play that Philly was complaining, wanting a penalty because that's what they do. And Noah couldn't continue after that. It's something he's been battling. It's more of like, it's not a bone bruise, but it's along those lines. Like, it's a hit. Okay, you got to just let that have some time. So what does the lineup look like? You know you don't have Latte Lot. You know you don't have Gregerson. You know you don't have Muyumba. Probably not Derek Williams. He was running on the side today. That's a lot. So, we're going to maybe get some clues about who doesn't go to the 2s tomorrow night, which we'll have on the SDH network, by the way. Guys who are there maybe aren't part of the match this weekend. I don't know. Like, you've got to find something right now, and you're down a few numbers. So whatever buttons you can push, we'll see what happens.
Alrighty, well, we're going to have everything coverage with Atlanta United 2 for tomorrow. That's going to be at Fifth Third Stadium. Make sure you watch and listen on soccerdownhere.mixler.com. We're also going to have all the coverage for you, especially as Atlanta United hits the road to face Orlando City this Saturday. Myself and Abe Gordon will have the pregame show on 92.9 The Game and the Odyssey app starting at 6:30 p.m. And then Mike Connie and Jason Longshore will be over there at Orlando for the call for you.